I'm a little bit torn when it comes to Helldivers 2's monetization. On one hand, it's not the worst and the developers seem to have good intentions. It's an okay monetization scheme in a very, very good game. But on the other hand, I feel that those same developers are not being completely truthful about it. And although it's not the worst, I don't want to say it's amazing. Today I'm gonna give you my honest thoughts on Helldivers 2's monetization. So let's start with the good. The game has both a free and a premium battle pass. However, neither of these battle passes are time sensitive. So what that means is you don't have to worry about the battle pass being unavailable after 3 months. You can just complete both of them at your own pace. And so speaking of premium, yes, there is a premium battle pass that's bought with the premium currency. It costs 1,000 of that currency, which amounts to $10. However, you can buy some of that premium currency in the free battle pass, and actually how much you can buy in the free battle pass in total is exactly how much you need to buy the premium battle pass. So that's a good touch. I like that detail. And you can earn the premium currency in missions as well. You can usually find some in these bunkers or these ones that require one other person to open them. All right, now let's move on to the bad. First of all, I want to make something very clear. For me, microtransactions in a paid multiplayer game is unacceptable when it impacts gameplay. You can have microtransactions for cosmetics, that's fine. Where I draw the line is when in a game I paid for, you need to pay money to unlock certain weapons, armors, and more, which actually impacts what you're able to do and not do in the game. And just because other games do it worse doesn't mean that it's not bad here. So let me elaborate. The devs claim that they don't want to force players to spend money and they don't want to make the game pay to win. For them, paying for microtransactions, for example, should be an option if you want to support them, but not required. And they don't want to have systems that lead to FOMO or fear of missing out in players. However, as we're going to see, it's a half-truth at best and a lie at worst. Before the game even came out, there was already an armor piece and weapon that you could only get through buying the DLC. The helmet is also tied to the DLC, but that has no effect on gameplay, so I don't mind. You want a cool helmet, you want a cool title, fine, buy the DLC. Same for the ship minigame thing, it's inconsequential, I don't care, that's fine. However, the armor and weapon tied to the DLC isn't fine. Those are not obtainable using any other means, and armor and weapons do really impact how you play the game. The game also has an in-game store which allows you to buy helmets, which again are cosmetics, but also armor, and only for a limited time. The currency you buy these with is available through microtransactions, but also obtainable in-game. However, put a pin in that, we'll get back to it. Now, don't get me wrong, games like this should be able to have DLC, like cosmetics that are kept behind a paywall. That's fine, but it's not fine when it impacts gameplay, especially again for a multiplayer game. Take Deep Rock Galactic for example. Both of these games are very similar. If you like Deep Rock Galactic, you'll like Helldivers 2 and vice versa, which is why I'm using it for comparison. Deep Rock Galactic has about $100 worth of DLC available, which is basically all cosmetics. However, the game doesn't have any other microtransactions. It costs $30, and if you want to support the developers and give them extra money, you can, and you'll get cool cosmetics in exchange. It's really just to support them, because nothing that impacts gameplay in Deep Rock Galactic is tied to you paying real money. In Helldivers 2, they've already tied a weapon and armor to a DLC, and weapons and armors to a premium battle pass. I don't know if they're rationalizing their actions or what, but best case scenario, I'm proven wrong. I hope that happens. But lastly, I wanted to say that games that let you buy currency with real money will never be incentivized to let you earn that currency easily. Let me illustrate this. You have two progression systems, or battle passes. One is unlocked out of the gate and lets you buy and unlock armor, weapons and cosmetics and more little by little. The other progression system, or battle pass, you need to unlock with another currency that's harder to get a hold of. Then you're able to unlock weapons and armors little by little. Now, think about it. If you can just buy a certain currency with real money, why on earth should the developers let you earn that currency in-game? Basically, this is a normal, pretty good progression system that's made worse and more predatory with microtransactions. That's what I mean, and the premium currency or super credits is not easy to come by in the game. To give you an idea, after playing for about 20 hours, I got 500 with the free battle pass and 120 through playing normally. In 20 hours. Reddit Oscar has a great video on how to farm super credits at a rate of 200 per hour. However, it's boring, it doesn't earn you XP, it doesn't earn you anything else but super credits and medals. If you want to do this method and earn XP, you'd only be able to get about 100 super credits per hour, and again, that's not by completing missions or actually playing the game, but by doing this method. Like this commenter says, the super credit system is a blemish on an otherwise great progression system. And this is because the developers are not incentivized to let you earn that currency by playing the game. Why should they be when they make more money when you buy super credits through microtransactions? And so I'm going to ask you to kind of take the developer statements with a grain of salt. They confidently say you have to earn the right to monetize, only to then release a DLC before the game is even out that paywalls an armor piece and a gun. They say they want to avoid FOMO, only to have a shop that sells armors and cosmetics with super credits, but always for a limited time. And you want to know the worst part? They're planning to release one premium war bond every month. One battle pass that you need to pay premium currency for every single month. And they're not all going to cost the same amount, so it wouldn't surprise me if they end up costing the same as the first one, if not more. How is this supposed to make players not feel the FOMO when they know they'll have to grind super credits and medals to be able to unlock everything to keep up with the game? If someone has an answer, please let me know in the comments. Putting certain weapons and other things that impact gameplay behind a paywall in a not free-to-play multiplayer game is just unacceptable. That's not giving an option to people to support the developers, that's just forcing people to pay money if they want to use a certain gameplay feature. So that's what I have to say about the monetization, but please understand that I love this game. I love the gameplay, I love the presentation, I love a lot of things about the game. The devs did an incredible job. This is the best shooting in any game I've played in a very, very long time. I have a blast every time I boot it up, and apart from the constant bugs and network errors, almost everything about this game is great. And I do want to note that it's more likely that the monetization was imposed on the devs by the publisher. It doesn't excuse it, they could have made the microtransactions impact only cosmetic items, but you know, something to keep in mind. And yes, this is some of the best games to implement a battle pass system, the best being Deep Rock Galactic. However, again, just because other games do it worse doesn't mean that it's good here. We've just been gaslit into accepting things that are really unacceptable. But of course, don't harass the developers. I just think it's important to be critical about certain things, especially microtransactions. And I think that it's important that, especially when you pay $40 for a game, that you're able to criticize monetization systems. It's important that we realize and remember that this is a $40 game, not a free-to-play game, and that although it's a very good game, that doesn't excuse it. Hopefully I'm proven wrong and the developers just go DRG's route and put out only cosmetic DLC. Hopefully, I hope so, but I don't think so. Now, if I have other videos about Helldivers 2 that's gonna be on screen, I hope to see you on the battlefield. Peace.